This is Dan, a lone Tenno with a quest to defeat the Murmur. I'm Nick Engineer, let's go zero to hero. Okay, at the end of last episode, we had completed a number of different quests and made some progress around the star chart. Since then, I've also done a live stream of Dan. I'll put the link to that VOD down in the video description, but that includes making some progress around those early planets. And in fact, Mercury is now fully complete, that is marked off with its mastery symbol. Venus is fully complete, that is marked off with its mastery symbol, and Earth is mostly complete, but this assassination here is a little bit beyond my current skill level, or at least my equipment level. So we'll leave that one for now. Now the important thing about mastering a planet like Venus here is because then we both get access to nightmare missions. Let me show you how one of those went on stream. Where the f is my health? Oh god, it's a no shield mode one. Oh god, I just realized. Oh god, I just realized I was just chatting shit whilst we were going through. So yes, we get nightmare missions. They can be a nightmare if you're not paying attention. And it allows us to deploy extractors. Now I don't actually have any of those yet, so let's have a quick peek as to where we get one of these. In the market here, if we just search for extractor, we can see that there are a couple extractor blueprints we could acquire. We could go for the distilling extractor, which has an increased chance of acquiring uncommon rare resources, or the Titan extractor, which is the basic version basically. Look at the details on the two. The Titan extractor has a 75.5% chance of only giving a common item, whereas the distilling only has a 30% chance of giving a common item. When it comes to the rare, it goes from 2% to 5%, and for uncommon from 22.5% to 65%. So the distilling extractor is significantly better. It's not often that you'll need to use an extractor to get yourself some common resources after all. The other thing to note is that as a new player, credits are a premium resource right now. It costs 50,000 credits to get this blueprint, and then 50,000 credits to build the blueprint. That is a huge outlay on top of the resources here. So as much as it will be a source of materials for us, at this stage I think the credits are a little bit too much to ask for. If I am quite honest with you, we're going to need those for mods instead. So that I'm going to leave there for now, but it is something that we can come back to as a result of completing planets. So the next step from here is instead to continue towards our primary goal, which is to get to Steel Path so that we can defeat the Murmur. That not only means completing all nodes, it means completing all planets to get to said nodes. And the Ceres Junction, whilst almost available to us, requires us to defeat the Sergeant Iliad on Phobos, so we need to go to Phobos first, and that is where we'll be picking up a bunch of rewards. The other thing of note is that after these junctions here, we head on over to Ceres, and whilst we can't currently see the junctions, what I can tell you is that both Phobos leading to Void, and then Mars leading to Ceres leading to Jupiter, does not give us any new quests. We are at a doldrums at this point. We're at a stage where it's now complete the missions, go somewhere new, complete the missions, go somewhere new, complete the missions, go somewhere new. We'll see some new and interesting locations, the Corpus Ship tile set, the Ceres Factory tile set, and then the Jupiter Air City tile set. We'll have all those interesting locations and some occasional story elements kind of suggested around it, but it also means that we're not going to see any quests explaining why we're even here. The next quests that turn up are on the Europa Junction, and those are still even side quests. Given the starting of meeting the Ostrons, meeting the Solaris, meeting the Intrati, and meeting the Infested, that is a sudden break away from that narrative-driven focus to then have a gap. One hell of a gap. So with that in mind, I suppose we might as well get on with fixing that gap by completing the next junction. Oh, that's ominous. Mag Spectre. There we go.
You have new quests in your codex.
That I do. We also have an Arcane Catalyst, so we can use that to upgrade a weapon. I will be holding onto that to use it on a more suitable weapon. We also gain a Kraken. We need 2 Neurodes to build it. It's something I could certainly get around to. We have a Cypher Blueprint, not really something I need to spend my resources on, but it is there. A couple mods we already had, and 20,000 credits. We now have access to Phobos. There is no junction to the Void, so we can run straight there. We do also need to get to Iliad, so that allows us to then access Ceres. So with no further delay, I suppose, let's just get straight through these, shall we?
Another job well executed.
Next move then, Skyresh. Now this one has the invasion on it, rather than the basic capture. Let's have a look at what that invasion offers. So we could do an exterminate or a capture. If we do the exterminate 3 times, we get 3 detonate injectors. If we do the capture 3 times, we'll get 3 field drawn. Now, neither of these are strictly required right this moment, but I'm going to go for the field drawn because capture is just a bit quicker. If we can speed through the 3 of those before it changes mission type, this allows us to unlock the node and get those field drawn. And that's going to be important. Another Morpheus, another bit of Blastids, and we've just finished ranking up New Loka, 22,000 out of 22,000 standing. Rank up available. That rank up is going to cost us 50,000 credits and one of our former. Considering they were gifted to us by the update, we might as well do that one there. Let's get our rank up. With this we can either pick up a relic pack, but we don't need that, or we can pick up one of these Archwing weapons. Now I did mention incorrectly in my previous video that the Archwings themselves were split across the different syndicates. As it so turns out is the Archwing weapons are split across the syndicates. The Archwings are obtained from a clan dojo. So in a part easier to get, in a part harder to get. For now, I don't have any particular reason to pick any one of these specifically, so I'm just going to go for the Phaedra stock because why not? Let us continue with our missions. Next up we have Monolith. Now this particular rescue we can actually dip down under here,
If the wardens detect you, they will surely initiate the execution.
which means we just don't need to open up the door of the main
We can't
entrance.
leave without rescuing the prisoner. Keep searching.
Flipping through the back. Jump up here. That gives us access without using any of the hack panels.
I thought I was gonna die.
There we go, that's found them.
Mission complete. The captive has been liberated.
And lastly then, of the bits we need to do here, is the assassination of the Sergeant. This is a fabled foe. Anyone who plays through Warframe distinctly remembers how they feel about this fight. Let's head in and take out the Sergeant. Here it is. The Sergeant. Cool. Alright then, that's the boss fight completed. If you were expecting more, so does everyone.
Nice work taking down
So
the
does
guy.
everyone.
Now get to extraction.
With that, we now actually have all the requirements done to complete the Ceres Junction, but to distract myself from that, let's first deal with the quest Stolen Dreams. So for the quest Stolen Dreams, let's head our way to the Codex. And it's going to be waiting for us in the side quests. There it is.
The Grineer finally uncovered the last of the arcane codices, only to lose it to some thief. Tile Regor must be livid, which means this Maru is in real trouble. I need to have a word with her before the Grineer do. I have tracked Maru to this Corpus outpost. Bring her to me for questioning. Be as persuasive as necessary. Maru, I am the Lotus. I come as a friend. You are in mortal danger, and you need to come with us.
Lotus speaking so gently to her whilst we just kidnap her.
Oh, so you tin suits who want to know about that arcane codex? Is that all? Okay, here goes. Tile Regor offered up big-time credits for me to pull the code from some strange machine on an infested Orican derelict. Thing is, I never much liked the Grineer, so the code I pulled ain't the code I gave them. I guess they finally figured that out. I bet you're looking to get your hands on the code. Too bad. I already sold them to the Corpus. Now, if you were to make it worth my while, maybe I'll tell you where they're keeping it. Listen up, you tin suits. With the Grineer itching to torture the life out of me, I've accepted your Lotus's offer of protection. In return, I'm gonna help your sorry behinds find that arcane codex.
So generous.
Tenno are quite capable, Maru. Perhaps you would prefer it if we dropped you off outside the nearest Grineer mining asteroid. Another job well executed.
Excellent. We only gain basic resources and credits from that because it is a quest mission, but that is fine. And the kunai is nearly fully ranked up.
Operator, I've been looking into...
Oh, sorry, Ordis. That was unfortunate. That shouldn't cut off his message, but now we have no idea what he was about to say. There's no way to go back on that. So I guess we'll just take the Grineer arcane codices.
The enemy will start destroying data.
Now there are various ways to complete this vault. That laser grid there means we'd have to teleport through if we want to go through that way. We can go up and around over here, or there's a route that a lot of people don't seem to know, is that you can get through here. Now if you can't blow that up, you can blow up these bombs that come past, these barrels, and that'll allow you through it. Either way, that allows us to make our way up here, jump over that, and literally just drop straight into the vault. I mean, it really couldn't be much easier, could it?
Distraction with no alarms. Another job well executed. We've tracked down the remaining arcane codices to this Corpus facility.
Take him out. There's another one above me. You can see him. There he is. Still counts as stealthy, so long as the alarms aren't tripped. There we are.
The target console is nearby. If you trigger the alarms now, the enemy will start destroying data.
Really don't know how that guy was already aware of me.
The enemy will start destroying data. Another job well executed.
There it is! The machine I pulled the final arcane codex from. You've got the full set of codices. Upload them and say hello to treasure.
Be silent. Hushed, hushed, and empty. It is the womb of the sky. All is silent and calm. Hushed and empty is the womb of the sky.
Boy knows what that was about.
Listen, I can't say it hasn't been fun, but with the arcane codices gone, I think it's safe for me to venture back out into the wild. See ya, tin suits.
Oh, and with that, Maru has decided to go on her own way. It is time to make our way through those planets to get back towards the main story. So, let's crack on through the Ceres Junction. Somehow, not ominous. Ta-da! And for now, we have access to Ceres, and Ceres is an interesting one because it gives us access to Orokin cells as well. It's not the first time we've had access to Orokin cells, we can access them through Deimos as well, but it is still nice to have access to them here. So let's continue to make our march through, and I think, if I look over this, yeah, we need to defeat Vor and Krill at Extron Ceres, which is over here. And we need to survive 10 minutes or more Draco on Ceres, which is over here. So I think the most appropriate route to do this will be to go Palace, either Bode or Cincia, Nuovo, Exeter, Ludi, Care, Draco. That should be about our quickest route through. Let's get started.
You have broken their ranks and they are on the run. Another successful mission. Find extraction.
Okay. Now we've got this particular extraction tile. Interesting. So for this,
A Grineer assault team is
if we just launch forwards, we will extract. We want to avoid doing that right now, just this once. Because if I instead make my way across here, right there is a Curia. Another one of those nifty little scan curiosities. A true understanding. It's always there, and once you've scanned it, you never need to scan it again. But it's hidden behind that extraction. Even as I jumped up there, it immediately extracted me. Let's do Bode, because it's a spy mission. I'd rather do that than the interception.
You're nearing the console. Trigger the alarms now and they will start destroying the data.
Something has gone really,
Stay focused. There's a heavy
really
enemy
wrong
approaching.
with stealth in this game.
None of the scanners have detected her. Mission complete. Excellent work, Tenno.
Next up, Exeter Assassination. So this is a combination of the Mars Assassination and the Mercury Assassination in the same mission. Two bosses at once. Surely that's much more difficult, right? As for how we can possibly be assassinating two people we've already assassinated,
This is your most dangerous
try not to think about it.
assassination yet.
Another dead Tenno.
let's take them out. We'll start with Vor.
Vor's mobility
Get him into his
make him a larger
state.
threat. Observe their attack patterns and look for an
Back you.
opportunity to divide and conquer.
Take out the support. He'll be vulnerable again shortly. There it is. Get him back down.
Target
Take out the
spotted.
support units to
Stay sharp.
spawn.
This one is a handful.
Did not appreciate the knockdown.
Use caution.
Second hit
Identifying the
on
traces of
Electrical.
prosecutor shield auras in your vicinity.
The Prosecutor is the more dangerous bit here. That's him taken out.
Good work.
Just this one left to deal with.
Prosecutors are not invincible.
Now the cold procs from my companion are making this slower, but it's fine. Got them. And we've got a mod for heavy attacks on our melee. That's a nice one to pick up. We have another unread message in our inbox. Oh, the Void Trader has returned. Well, that tells everyone exactly when I'm recording this, doesn't it? Where is he this time? He is on Earth at Strata Relay. You know what? Let's take a moment to be distracted and go have a look at what he's got there. This is going to also likely give me blessings, so if I go to a really busy one, hopefully the blessings have already been given out. Let's make our way over to Barracutia and realize why he is not particularly valuable to me at this point in time. Because I already know where this is going to go, but let's have a look anyway.
The wait is over, Tenno. Barracutia has arrived.
So we can get from him various cosmetic items, which is not my primary focus. Let's focus on the mods and the weapons. For the mods, there is Primed Heavy Trauma, which is a lot of impact damage for melee. Not really a brilliant mod, unless you're doing something with, say, Atlas or Stropher, and it is very expensive. Not only to buy, but also to rank up. Jolt. Now this one I believe is attainable later into the game. We don't have access to that yet, so it could be an interesting one to acquire. However, again, 300 ducats and 150,000 credits just to buy the mod. Prime Target Cracker, an increase from normal Target Cracker for our pistol critical damage. We've not even ranked a normal Target Cracker, so to get the primed one would be practically insane at this point in time. And Primed Animal Instinct is a huge outlay for what little credits we have, and then credits at Endo to actually upgrade it. If we look at the weapons too, we run into similar issues, not least of which mastery rank locks 8, 12 and 12. So even if I wanted to get it, I can't. By the time I could get to mastery rank 8, even if I somehow had all the mastery points, because of the daily mastery lock, that you can only do 1 test per day, we simply wouldn't get there before the Void Trader left. So all of what he has to offer is currently
A little out of your reach.
which leaves us now Draco Survival on Ceres. 10 minutes of that.
Another job well executed.
The Jupiter Junction, where we'll also get enhanced durability, Rubido line barrel, cutting edge, and an Amphis blueprint. Well, that's ominous. Valkyr Spectre. Let's do the same again. Shield up. Force them to roly-poly. It's not going to save their life. Oh, damn, they got me through the shield. Let's get them from back here. We can block as much as she likes, but every time she doesn't block, I get to make attacks. Let's attack her up close, and as soon as my shields drop, I can then back off. Oop. Like so. Yeah, back off for a bit. Take the opportunity to recover my shields. She is invulnerable. She's no longer invulnerable. Oh, that hit her hard. Let the shields come back a bit. Let the shields come back. There we go. That was a little bit more difficult to do. Now we have access to Jupiter. Oh, hello.
Yes, and of course we've saved the best for last. Excellent condition, as you can see. Now keep in mind, the core components will be diverted to the Zanuka program. Bidding begins at 3 million. Good luck, gentlemen. May our ledgers become ocean, our margins sea Centauri. In the name of profit, I commit thee to the void.
Well, wasn't that a nifty little introduction? I'd seen in the patch notes that D had added one of these new cinematics to introduce you to a planet. It'd be nice to see these for other planets as well, although I'm not really sure what they could do for Phobos or Ceres, given that nothing actually happens there. But still, nice to have for Jupiter. Before we proceed through Jupiter, we have a mastery rank up available to us.
You have proven your skills with weapons, Tenno. But what of your endurance? A formidable performance. This test is now complete. Mission complete. Excellent work, Tenno.
Now that we've reached Jupiter, it's time to make our way to the Europa Junction. Europa requires only one challenge, complete exterminate mission at Teshub in the Void, which interestingly means we need to go all the way back to Phobos to make our way on that. Let's do Stickney to get us into the Void. This is a survival mission. We'll have it done in 5 minutes.
The raid is off to a successful start.
Start.
When you need it, extraction is ready.
Having completed that, we now have access to the Void, and we just need to do the mission Teshub and exterminate. This should take about 5 minutes as well.
Another
that
job
5
well
minutes?
executed.
5 minutes. Pretty much called it. With the Void complete, we just need to do the missions now over on Jupiter. And then we'll be able to get to Europa. 3 missions to go. Let's start with a rescue.
The captive has been secured. You've done your part, Tenno. We'll take it from here. Tenno, your codex.
We don't actually care about the Codex Lotus. We know about the quests over there. They're all side quests. Let's move on to this. We've got our mobile defense, or our Miso Fisher mobile defense. Considering it's a way for us to open up our Miso Relic and get the node done in one, might as well. We have our single Miso Relic. It's certainly more rewarding to do it as a mobile defense Fisher than to do just a mobile defense,
This is a mobile
because
defense
just mobile
mission.
defense has
You must
basically no
deliver
reward to
payloads
it.
and defend.
See? No concern whatsoever.
The odds were against us, Tenno, but we did it. Mission complete.
Let's get out of here. And just not worry about whatever that thing is. I'm sure it's fine. Okay, last mission here. Exterminate.
Well done. Now get to extraction.
Ta-da! Now, one thing I can do here, whilst this lockdown's active, it's actually going to make this marginally easier in that it's going to keep the enemies away from us and keep us within a single tile. See, we've got a door here with some curious symbols on it, and those symbols actually relate to the way to open up this door. We need to find the square panel, the semicircle panel, and the triangle panel, one of which is right here, but currently shuttered. For this particular tile, and a few others like it, you first need to open up those shuttered panels, and to do that, you need to find one of these access controllers. We shatter that, and if we go have a look back at it, that is now available for use. But if we want to open this door, we're going to need to find all 3 panels in the correct order. That is the square, semicircle, triangle. Triangle's here because it's the closest. If I recall correctly, the semicircle should be just over here. Yep, there it is. And then the square one will be probably through this door over here. There it is. We grab that, use our speed to help us do this, because there is a very short time window in which we can activate all of these. There is 2. Door override time is still ticking. Let's head our way down here. 3. And with that, we open up this. Now, as a relatively new player, we just get access to these. A couple lockers. And this strange locker, which gives us a Gas City Cloud Vista scene and a couple extra credits. There are more rewards in there, but we don't yet have the means to open this door. There is a special something we need to open that, and it's not these weapons, it's not anything we currently have equipped. And now with that complete, we can access the Europa Junction, which will give us access to 2 side quests, Limbo Theorem and the New Strange. New Strange is of greater value to us here, as Limbo is not as needed. Well, that's ominous. Nova Spectre. We've learned we need to use our protections to keep ourselves alive. I'm not sure what you've got in store for us. Oh, that looks dangerous. Let's definitely stay away from that explosive. Shield protected me from all those range attacks, which is good. Oh, cheeky. She portaled behind me. Unfortunately, it's a very telegraphed action, so we can deal with it. Let's keep our distance from those null stars. Nice try, but I got the shield up. I saw what you were trying there. You wanted to get the flank. Too easy. Use the portal for good measure. Volt Shield really does do a lot of work in protecting against these attacks from the Spectres. We have access to Europa, we have access to those side quests, we are starting to find some more quests after the doldrums that is both Ceres and Phobos. For now, I think this has been a long enough episode. We've made a heck of a lot of progress. We'll continue more with those quests in the next one.